welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to be better about putting up videos frequently. I know YouTube is a oversaturated market and there's no room for YouTubers, especially little baby YouTubers like me, to grow, but it's fun and I enjoy doing it and I enjoy talking to you and reading most of the comments. Sometimes they're mean. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a what I didn't expect / what I didn't know about being engaged video. I have been trying to consult the YouTube community about like the wedding planning process and all of that, and there's a surprising lack of wedding videos out there. So I thought I'd contribute. I've been engaged 3 weeks, so obviously I know everything. I know very little, but I have already learned a lot. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a series throughout my engagement / wedding planning process / newly married life of things I didn't know. Things that it might be common sense, but no one told me / didn't expect. The first thing being, as soon as you get engaged, everyone's very first question is, when's the wedding? I thought that's so funny. I don't know why that's everyone's first question. Literally like the day after, people are like, when's the wedding? And funny enough for Brooke and I, we were engaged on Tuesday and by Friday we had flown to Texas, picked a venue, picked a date, signed on the dotted line. So that was what, a 3-day turnaround, which is absolutely insane, but that's not normal. I mean, usually you shop around for venues, it takes a while. So I don't know why that's people's first question, but just be warned. Be warned. Another thing I didn't expect, we have, well, for LA, it's a really long engagement. A lot of people I know in LA have like 2-month engagements, but for Texas, a relatively short engagement of 7 months. And apparently they recommend about 9 months of time before your wedding to pick out a dress. That wasn't worded properly. They recommend picking out your dress 9 months before your wedding. But usually I'm learning that dress shops have one of each dress, usually average size 10 to 12. So you try it on and then you have to get it custom made, and that could take up to 6 months, and then you have several fittings. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, something I have learned is that you can ask your caterer and your venue about buying your own alcohol, which I did the math, and if we buy alcohol from Sam's, not only do they have a return policy if we have any left over at the end of the night, but we'll be saving literally thousands of dollars for the exact same amount of alcohol. So our caterer is super cool. We haven't officially signed them yet, but shout out to Tim the girl. They literally like got to know me and built a menu around me. I told them I love arugula, and they're like, great, we'll make this arugula salad, and just things like that. So that's really cool. But they are going to be providing bartenders and glassware and all of that, and we can bring our own alcohol, which is just wow. Something else I did not expect about being engaged is, if you're anything like me, we've had a Pinterest board since we were like 12 of our dream dresses and our dream cake, blah, blah, blah. First off, I don't like the majority of those things anymore. If I planned a wedding 2 years ago, I would have had a naked cake and succulents and like a geometric altar and all these things, and now I don't like any of that. So my opinions have changed a lot in a year or two. But second is, I care a lot less about that than I thought. I'm at the point to where I'm like, I'll find a dress I like this is the shape I like, and then I'm open to whatever, and I'm sure I'll find one. Like, I'm not that stressed about it, but to me, I'm like talking to florists now, and I'm like, this is what I picture for like the atmosphere and the environment, and like things that I didn't think I would actually care about that much, I do. So that's been weird. It's weird. It's weird what you decide to care about. I've picked the 3 things I care most about are photographer, videographer, and florist. Those things I'm being very particular about. I want to be able to remember the day as much as possible. So I really want a photographer and videographer that captures my essence and has, you know, just the same vibe that I'm going for, because that's all you have when it's all said and done and over. That's all you have is the pictures and the video. And then the general vibe and aesthetic that I'm going for is literally just a ton of greenery everywhere. I don't want any colors. I want just like some nice soft whites and then a ton of greenery everywhere. And I never thought that I would care this much about a florist, but they are the main puzzle piece to the aesthetic that I want. So that's been really interesting. Like the bachelorette party, I thought I'd care so much about. I'm like, whatever's easiest for the bridesmaids. I want to make it easy on them. Let's do something in Austin. I don't care. Let's hang out. I don't care. Like, it's weird the things you end up caring about. I learned I have a mom that rocks first and foremost. We are both very type A planners. We've just been a dream team together. We've been tag teaming all these phone calls with different vendors, and it's been great. Shout out to Mom and Dad. I love you both so much, and I appreciate everything you've been doing. I'm 3 weeks in and we have so many things already planned. The last thing I learned that I didn't quite know is that there are so many different packages that wedding coordinators offer. I haven't picked a wedding coordinator yet. I really want to, because since I'm the first wedding in the family, I just have a little sister. I don't know what I'm not thinking about. I'm so new to this. I've just been learning what I can from magazines, from other YouTube videos, from things like that. So I know I want a wedding coordinator at least month of. So you could have a full wedding coordinator, someone that literally does everything for you. You just tell them like, this is my vibe, this is my budget, go, and they do everything. I have very specific visions on some things, so I like to be involved, plus I love planning. If I didn't have to deal with brides, I think being a wedding planner sounds like a lot of fun, but I know brides can probably be difficult sometimes, so that's one thing I'm trying to be as careful about as possible, is just being as easygoing and friendly as ever, to try to make all the vendors' job as easy as possible. But you could have a wedding coordinator that literally does everything. You could have a month of wedding coordinator. You could have just a day of wedding coordinator. I think that they call that something different. I'm looking for a wedding coordinator, and in fact I'm about to talk to one that I think seems like a perfect fit, that she will technically 2 months before handle everything, and starting now I just have unlimited communication with her as far as asking questions or being like, hey, am I on track? But she's not necessarily like setting up appointments or doing anything like that. That's kind of on my terms, and I can ask her questions, and then 2 months before she'll work out all the details and the seating and the rehearsal dinner and everything like that. I didn't know is how fun making a wedding registry would be. We haven't sent out the save the dates yet, so the registry is not really being used yet, but I just had so much fun like going through and being like, okay, what's one thing that I really want and really need, and then finding the perfect thing. That usually maybe like a slightly nicer version of something that I wouldn't ever want to splurge on or be able to afford. I also though, I mean, you do you. I also though don't want to be that couple that only registers for like super expensive things. So I've had fun kind of like hunting around being like, this looks really nice, it's under $100, people would probably feel comfortable with this price range type of thing. I just have had a blast with that. And since Brooke and I are gonna live here in this tiny little baby studio, which you can go watch the tour of if you want, also on this channel, we don't need a lot of stuff. I mean, registered for some fun things that I don't need, but thought would be fun. But then in addition to that, Zola has been amazing. They've made it so easy to make a wedding website, a wedding registry. They have a checklist. They literally have Tinder for things for your registry, where you can swipe left and swipe right, and if you swipe right, it'll add it to your registry. It's just fun to do when you're bored. But on Zola, you can also register for experiences. So we decided on a honeymoon to Kauai, but that's gonna be a huge expense, and I don't really wanna start marriage with any debt whatsoever. So Zola has allowed us to register for different parts of the honeymoon. So I like set up a group gift registry fund for the plane tickets, or for the hotel, or for dinners out. So people can be like, oh, I really want to contribute to their plane ticket to their honeymoon. And they feel like they know what they're contributing towards. So I feel like it's probably more exciting for the guests than just like a general blank fund. And it will be really, really helpful to us, because that's something I really care about, is I want to have a fun honeymoon. I don't want to splurge on it if we don't have the funds. So, and I don't want to have extra things I want to use crammed in this tiny studio. So I feel like it's just the perfect solution to all of it. So shout out to Zola, highly recommend them. Highly recommend reading articles on the Knot. They have been also very helpful. And I have so much to learn and so much to do. Yeah, oh, last tip, that actually, one of my bridesmaids, Maddie Jones, showed me this website, Azazi, which is really great for bridesmaids dresses. So I ordered some samples. Actually, let me show you. Azazi, like this, A-Z-A-Z-I. A-Z-A-Z-I-E. A-Z-A-Z-I-E. And you can like order different samples of different fabrics, and basically it's a website where you can choose the fabric color, the fabric type, the dress length, and then there's like 100 options of dresses that all look really good together. So I actually ended up going with the silver. It's reading a lot darker on camera than it looks in real life. How it's reading on camera on this side is more how it looks, but I chose chiffon, which is this material right here, and floor length, and I sent it to my bridesmaids because I want them to be happy with their dress. You always hear the cliche of bridesmaids hating their dresses and them being expensive, and so I really wanted to avoid that if at all possible. So I sent them the link, and there's so many different styles. I was like, just make sure it's floor length, silver, chiffon, and pick whatever you want. There's different price points. Some are under $100, some are closer to like $150, and my hope is that they could find a dress that they like enough to where they could wear it again after the wedding, and everyone just feels confident and beautiful. That's the last thing I learned. That's my last little tip for you. As of now, I'll check back in a couple weeks and probably say that I unlearned all these things I just learned, but it's been a good chat. I like these videos where it's just like very low stress. I'm not trying to like style something. I just chatting with you. I think that that's a lot of fun. And this is gonna be a fun process. So throughout the next 7 months, we'll see what I learn. Well, thanks for watching. If you wanna press subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. I hit 2,000, so thank you so much. I very, 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 very much appreciate that. Okay, bye. I don't need these anymore. Why do I still have them? Bye.